Okay, big question. Everybody wants to know, why hasn't the Prime Minister, the leader of your party and the Barisan National, dissolved Parliament?
Well, some Malaysians out there and opposition obviously pushing this point that he's scared of dissolving parliament, scared of elections. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. We're a party involved in the democratic process. We have to face elections sooner or later. It's not a question of being scared. It's not a question of not having the courage to dissolve parliament. It's just that if you have more time legally, constitutionally, and we can use that time to our benefit, then why not? And I think that's what it is.
Well, Dr. Mahathir, the former Prime Minister and former leader of your party, has come out saying that he would have had elections last year. He's also come out issuing a rather stern warning to the Prime Minister that if he doesn't do well, that he might actually face a challenge to the leadership of the party. Do you think those things are affecting his decision to move on the dissolution of Parliament?
I don't think so. I think as far as Dr. Mahathir's view that he would have done it last year as was this year, well, he's not the Prime Minister, and he wouldn't have a perspective of the Prime Minister right now in power. As far as what happens after the elections, I think that's hypothetical right now, and we just focus on the elections, and we want to make sure that we can maximize our results during the election, and I think that's the final arbiter of the timing of the dissolution.
But do you think there have been some real negative consequences, not just for people who are excited about being part of the democratic process, but also businesses? Things are on hold. People can't move because they're waiting for the elections to happen, for some results to come in, and then to kind of plot their year and the next 5 years, if that's the case. But has there been a real dampener for the economy because of this uncertainty about when the elections are going to be held?
Well, obviously, some businesses have put on hold some big decisions on investments and things like that, and that would have some effect. But if you look at the overall macroeconomic trend as far as foreign direct investments concerned, GDP growth, I don't think this has really affected it at a top line, fundamental level. Maybe at micro firm level, some firms, yes, have put off some things, but let's face it, one, it's just a matter of weeks away anyway, and secondly, if people have been on holding pattern since last year or been overly excited, I think that's not just the fault of the government, but it's also the fault of all Malaysians because of this excitement for the election. The Prime Minister never said that it was going to be, last year. He said that whenever he's ready, he'll dissolve Parliament.
Is there a problem in the party? Are you having contests about seats? Is there a lot of horse trading about who should stand? We were told that there were some decisions that have been made about seats. Just recently, a newspaper headline that seats are still undecided. There's still, competition over them. Is that what's holding it back?
I think we want to make sure that there's no stone left unturned as far as our preparation is concerned. That includes divvying up the seats, that includes choosing candidates, vetting candidates properly. I can say that we are, probably 95 to 99% there already. But I think we are extra vigilant this time around, and we want to make sure that the decisions as far as seat allocation and candidates are concerned, which are the big strategic decisions that need to take place, we want to make sure that that's really down pat before we go.
The reason of this, of course, is that in the past there's been charges of sabotage, that people who were left out, who were sidelined, have been unhappy. Dayam Zainuddin, the former finance minister, has called for the removal of deadwood in the party and in the coalition as a whole. Do you think the Prime Minister actually has the political will to do that at this point in time? Is he going to create more enemies if he gets rid of deadwood?
I think there will be a concerted attempt by the PM when he announces the candidates that there are fresh faces out there, new exciting candidates, to give that sort of push of vigor for BN. So I think he means what he says when he wants winnable candidates, but it doesn't mean that every single elected representative that served 3 terms will be kicked out. I think those who are still good and still serve the constituents well, performers, I think they'll be retained. But I think this transformation push by the Prime Minister will extend to picking good candidates, and that's why we are extra careful about vetting.
Some months ago, mainstream newspapers, The Star and the NST both carried stories about something called Factor 11. And this is a kind of a... Factor 11 is the, I think, the lucky number of the Prime Minister.
Right, sorry. Yeah.
So, there is some speculation that May 11th will be the day. It's a Saturday. It carries the 11 number, which apparently is lucky for the Prime Minister. Is numerology a major thing in UMNO these days?
I mean, if numerology was a major thing for the Prime Minister, then it was 11 November 2011 would have been the election. So, I mean, it's, to us, we're very methodical about preparations for this election, Sharaad, and I think, we want to make sure that when PM asks for Parliament to be dissolved, everything is in place. And I can't stress this enough that our approach to this election is very, very clinical, and we want to make sure that we've done everything that we can to maximize the election results.
Okay, last question for you. You're from Negeri Sembilan, or you're standing, you have a constituency in Negeri Sembilan. The assembly has dissolved automatically. Is this going to be a concern? Do you think that your rivals in Negeri Sembilan are going to be saying, well, this is just a failure of nerve? We've seen for the first time in our history an assembly dissolve automatically. Do you think it's going to affect your chances and the chances of Barisan Nasional in Negeri Sembilan?
No, not at all. I think that I've seen that argument. I think the argument's rubbish, basically, because we knew, observers as well as those who were close to the process knew that Parliament wasn't going to be dissolved yesterday or 2 days ago. So for the MB just to dissolve it one day before it automatically dissolves is just moot, isn't it? I mean, it's just, you're just demonstrating a point for nothing. So he decided that, since we're going to have elections at the same time anyway, and even Pakatan governments have said that, yeah, we'll do it at the same time anyway, to just let the clock run out. So, there's no big deal. I mean, there's no material difference to the people, whether it dissolved one day before because the MB asked for it to dissolve, or it dissolved naturally.
Thank you very much.